Hello and welcome to 5 Minutes with Sean, maybe 10. So look, I want to get into pricing today. I've got a lot of people talking about it in my network, and I want to talk about the idea of a one-price setup or a negotiation setup, if you will. What I'm finding right now is I'm even finding the manufacturer getting involved in this discussion, which is aggravating because they have no business in discussing with dealers the retail pricing strategies at which they sell cars. Remember, manufacturers, you are wholesalers. Once the car is wholesaled, it's none of your business how we go about it. And I'm so tired of hearing this idea of brand protection. Oh, what about my brand? Your brand protection has nothing to do with your pricing. New cars are a race to the bottom. Get over it. Period. All right? So it's funny, this particular manufacturer that I'm discussing, they try to pilot down the Chicago area, right, on a one-price strategy for their brand. That area is down in the last 12 months of running that, 20% in sales. Do we think it's by accident? No, we don't. Price is what attracts people. I don't care what people... Okay, look, if 100% of people don't buy a car based on price, what I can assure you is 110% of people search for cars based on price, at least. At a very minimum, that is part of the discussion. So if you believe that your brand doesn't want to be deteriorated due to pricing, well, how do you like selling 20% less cars? Was that fun? And they're trying to bring this idea over to other markets, and these markets are fighting it because the data is there to support it's a terrible idea. This brand already isn't established well enough in the United States. They certainly cannot go to an idea of a one price, nothing below invoice. Again, none of your business. When I take a car in from a wholesaler on a used car, there's no way in hell he will tell me what my pricing is going to be on that car. The same rules apply here. Franchise laws be damned. This is how this business works today. Update your narrative. It's ridiculous. So the reason I bring it up is I was reading an article, probably Costco. Costco says, hey, our users love it. It's unbelievable to have the one price Costco deal. Talk to dealers. Not a big fan of the Costco approach. Fine. But there's something to be said about a one price approach. I used to work with some stores here in the state of Wisconsin up in Green Bay, and they were a one-price store. It takes a ton of buy-in from sales management. It takes good, proper training to salespeople, but here's the other side of it, right? When you go to a one price, you end up basically having non-commissioned salespeople, which I'm seeing that move in other big-ticket items like houses recently. I'm seeing it in jewelry. So it makes sense that our industry is involved in that. Non-commissioned salespeople, will they worry about gross? They don't have to. The gross is built in. The deal is what the deal is. But I will tell you, what I find difficult is that I was up there on a given day, whatever it was, and they were working deals, and the customer walked out, and I said, man, a tough deal. Walked the customer, he goes, yeah, $500, but the price is the price. And I was like, oh my God, what just happened? He's like, yeah, man, the guy wanted another $500 off the price, and that's not what we do. The price is the price. Oh man, walk a deal over a nickel? That is not in my brain, right? In my DNA. I don't work that way. But this is what they do. I get a call 3 days later, the guy came back and bought the car. That is why they do what they do, and you can't offer a one price if you're going to negotiate on a case-by-case basis. Then you're offering a case-by-case basis negotiation price. This is all that it is. Now, where they can make it up, sure, they can make it up on trades. They can make it up on F&I, but the customer appears to like it. But I hear a lot of people still tell me, hey, Sean, I really dig negotiating. I really like that part of buying a car, but I don't like that it takes 4 hours. Well, negotiations aren't easy. Now, do I know the average time to deal from start to finish at a one price versus a negotiation store? No, I don't, but I would guess that it is faster at a one price store than a negotiation store, in my opinion, given how much history I've seen in this business. But as I said earlier, it affects pay plans, right? So it's everybody's pay plan. The desk is paid differently. How do you pay the desk on gross if the cars are already established, right? So there's some back and forth that I think has to look at. When you're going to get into a one price versus a negotiation, you better have a strong F&I department to make that extra dollar per car. And you better be really great at service retention, right? Because if you're going to sell the car, and let's just assume a break even or perhaps a small loser depending on your brand because you're chasing the OEM trunk money. Thank you very much, by the way, OEM. Here you are talking about protecting your brand, yet you're offering incentive for dealers to go below invoice, sell cars, and you're going to retro back money. Once again, the OEM is out of its lane on this deal. That is my point. But back to this, service retention is extremely important to one price because you need that customer for the life of that deal. What probably doesn't happen at one price stores, and one price listeners, if you're here, tell me otherwise, but I'm going to assume you don't get as many out-of-market deals. Because typically out-of-market deals are people who drive across the state for $50. Your price wouldn't necessarily be the best price on the market, but it would be the most upfront, honest, and easy to deal with. That is a good thing to me. That is an excellent thing. That is something that we look for every single day to make sure that we have, what we need moving forward. I think that's a big part of the discussion. When you look at one price stores, what you find are some successes. Sure, that's going to happen, but you also find some fall down. And that's going to happen too. And like I mentioned earlier, walking a deal over $500 is uncomfortable to my car guy sensibilities, but not something I find to be that crazy if you stand up for what you believe in, and that is who you are. That's extremely important to me. So go ahead and think about this for a second. If you were at a store that was a one price, do you believe it would improve CSI and everything else about the deal and maybe have a negative effect on gross profit? If you say yes to all of those, then why wouldn't we do it? Isn't that what we're trying to do with the internet customer or the customer in general, because they're all on the internet, is trying to make it easy and seamless for them? So if we have a price and we stand by our price and we know we set the expectation with the customer, this is the price, wouldn't that be easier? That's what I think. I think it would be easier. Is it as much fun to not negotiate? I don't know. I mean, sure, it's fun to negotiate, but it'd be more fun to sell. Instead of a 3-hour negotiation, I'd like to talk to 2 more additional customers and sell at least 1 more car in that same 3-hour period. So to me, it is better to take this approach. Let me know what you guys think. As always, we love your feedback. It's a huge part of what we do here. The phone number to reach me directly, call or text 262-278-0157. You can also reach me via email, Sean, S-E-A-N, at CarBizDoneBetter. I am all over LinkedIn. I am not all over the other social media platforms, but if you are and you leave a comment, it will get back to me. If it doesn't, text it to the text line and we'll get on top of it. Guys, thank you so much, and gals, thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful day.